Alright, coming back at you with another breezy edition of New Garden Road. I'm here to share my love of gardening with you guys. I want to inform, inspire, and elevate you. This is a positive thing. I want you to get outside, enjoy the air, do something healthy, grow some food. Alright, I'm going to show you some things. Let's do this. We're going to demonstrate winterizing, and I'm going to set up some garden hoops, show you what that looks like, how the installation goes, some of the pieces that are involved, and tell you a little bit about what that does for the garden and why we do it. One point that's important to mention, call before you dig. You might have something in the ground that you would be disturbing utility wise. You know, I just don't want everybody going and driving rebar into their soil and not looking out for themselves. So real important, call before you dig. Make sure there's nothing down there that could cause a issue or be a problem. Your spacing for the rebar is going to be based on your plant size, your row size. Okay, in this example, my beds are 4 feet wide, and I like to have a foot off the bed for where I place the rebar initially, and that gives me about 6 feet of spread between one post to another. I'm using that 4-pound hammer. You're going to need something heavy duty if you're going to do it this way. The rebar I'm using is 1/2-inch rebar. It's 12 inches long. I drive it in the ground about 6 inches. That works for me. It's always important to remember some basics when you're going to cover up these plants to get through the cold weather. You want to make sure they're hydrated. If a plant is dried out, it's going to be more susceptible to frost damage. Also, you want to make sure you got some mulch on the ground. That helps conserve moisture and preserve the temperature in the soil. You can apply liquid seaweed regularly. That helps get the roots established so they're better able to do all their business. It also helps them, gives them some extra protection against the cold weather. I'm using PVC. It's the lighter weight PVC that it's easier to bend. Don't get that real thick PVC. You want to get the lighter weight stuff that will arc over the bed. The PVC helps make this hoop house over your garden bed. That keeps the row cover from making contact with the plants. If that happens, you can get some burning. So you want to make the row cover and the hoop house over your garden bed big enough to account for the mature plant size, whatever you're growing. Like if you're growing broccoli or kale or something, those can get relatively large late season, and if you want to protect them against some hard freezes, you're gonna need to make sure the clearance on them is about 3 feet overhead, because they get pretty big. Also, let's talk about the row cover. You know, what you're doing with the row cover is you're trapping ground heat. That's a real important point to consider. You're going to get about 5 to 7 degrees of protection from the row cover, so it's going to be warmer under there, and that's what you want. Keep your plants cozy. Okay, how long can you keep your garden bed covered up with row cover? It all depends. I think a good rule of thumb is 1 to 2 weeks. It's light in color, it has breathability, so you're going to get air passing through there. You're going to want to get in there and check regularly though, regardless, because you want to make sure, like I said, the plants are hydrated, and you want to look for any pest issues that could occur while it's covered up. It does happen. So treat it like you would normally and check on it regularly. I always say check on your garden every day. You want to know what's going on and catch things quickly. So you got it covered up long term, should be all good, but keep an eye on it. Alright, how much row cover to get? So this is a 4 foot by 8 foot raised bed. I've got 10 foot PVC, and I'm arcing that over the bed. So I like a piece of row cover that's 12 feet wide and 18 feet long. It's important to remember You want to allow extra, because like I said, you're trapping ground heat, and you're going to be going up and over, across the bed and down again. So it's not just 8 feet long that you have to cover. You know, that's really more like 18 feet to be generous. Okay, other things that you can do to provide supplemental heat underneath the row cover. You can use some old Christmas lights. You'll need to be sure and use incandescent lights. You don't want to use LED lights. Incandescent lights are going to put off a little heat, and the row cover will trap that just like it will the ground heat. You can also fill up some water jugs if you have space and are able to put them in the garden bed. That water will heat up during the day. It's more like a passive solar way to keep some heat under there, and then overnight it will cool down slower, so you'll retain some warmth under the row cover. Okay, this is my method for covering up my garden in the wintertime to keep things growing, keep them from dying from the frost, extend my growing season. There's a lot of different right ways to do this. You can find your own method. This is just one method, and this is something that I virtually freestyle engineered in my backyard with what I thought of as materials that would work in this project. So think about that. Think about other ways to do it. Remember the basic principles, and you should be good. Give it a shot. Start somewhere. Get growing. If nothing else, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to provide something positive for people to see. Alright, we're having an official inspection. Come here. I'm a princess. I'm a garden princess. Hey, thanks for watching. Leave me a question or comment below, and please subscribe.